He stood over the ball with his name buried at the bottom of the leaderboard, hands steady, breath slow, and swung like the deficit didn't exist. 2 rounds gone at the biggest tournament of his life, and Danny sat outside the top 50 near the bottom, a name nobody in the press tent could even pick out. He stood under the giant leaderboard, staring at his own row like it was a diagnosis. Beside him, his caddy Ray said nothing. No pep talk, no speech. He just pulled the driver from the bag and pressed it into Danny's open hand. The message was quiet, but it was clear. We are not done. Here is what that deficit actually meant. 36 holes left, and a mountain of players stacked between him and the lead. Miss the weekend surge and he goes home with nothing, no paycheck that mattered, no ranking. Just another young hopeful who flamed out when it counted. The commentators had already moved on to other names. His hands were steady on the grip, because Ray had spent years teaching him one strange rule that had nothing to do with the leaderboard at all. Decades earlier, Ray had been the one with all the talent, smoothest swing on his college team, a can't-miss kid, until the pressure found the cracks. He chased every leaderboard, bled shots protecting scores he was terrified to lose, and washed out before he ever turned 30. He never made the tour, but drowning in his own game taught him exactly how a mind goes under. So he stopped trying to be a great player. He became the man who keeps great players from sinking. Play the next shot, Ray used to say, not the deficit. One shot. The ball does not know the score. It does not know you are 41st. It does not know the cameras have all left. It only knows the swing you give it right now in this second. Danny had heard it 1,000 times on empty ranges before dawn. Today, buried near the bottom of the biggest board in golf, he would finally have to live it or prove the old man wrong. Up front, a very different story. Marsh led the whole tournament by a comfortable margin, tall, easy dark hair slicked back, that crisp white polo without a single wrinkle. Reporters circled him at dawn like he had already won. "How does it feel to close it out?" they asked, and he smiled like a man reading his own headline. He never once looked at the bottom of the board. Why would he? Nobody down there could touch him. That was the mistake he could not feel yet. Now the day itself. Sunrise on the range, the grass silver with dew, long shadows stretching across the empty tee boxes. Danny hit balls alone, his breath fogging in the cold, the low sun cutting a line of gold across his face. No music, no talking, just the steady metronome click of contact, one ball, then the next, then the next. Ray stood behind him with his arms crossed, watching not the flight of the ball but the boy's eyes. Something in them had gone very quiet. First tee. Ray handed him the driver again, the same wordless press into the palm. "What is the number I need?" Danny asked. Ray did not even glance at the board. "Your number is the ball in front of you," he said. "That is the only one on this course." Danny nodded, teed it up, and striped it dead down the center of the fairway, pure, unhurried, no fear in it. One shot played, not the deficit. The climb that nobody in the world expected had already begun. Then it started. Birdie on 2, a tap-in on 4, a long curling putt on 6 that rolled and found the bottom of the cup, and still nothing on his face. No fist pump, no roar back at the crowd. He walked to the next tee like a man calmly mailing letters. The gallery did not notice at first. A few holes climbed, then a few more. Slowly, quietly, almost invisibly, the impossible name began crawling its way up the giant board. Ray saw it before anyone else did. Not the birdies, the breathing. Slow, even. He is not chasing anymore, Ray murmured to the scorer beside him. He is just playing. And that is the shift that changes everything. Pause for a second, think about the last time you finally stopped panicking about how far behind you were, and just did the one small thing in front of you. That is the exact moment the pressure loosens its grip from around your throat. There is something strange that people who study pressure have noticed about comebacks. You would expect the body to spike with panic under that kind of weight. Instead, when the mind finally drops the scoreboard and locks onto a single next task, the whole system can settle, the heartbeat steadying, the focus sharpening to a point. The anxiety was never the pressure itself. It was the arithmetic, the endless counting of how far behind you are. Kill the counting, and the storm inside goes silent. By the back 9, the roars stopped being scattered. They rolled hole to hole, a rising wave of noise chasing one single name up the leaderboard. Marsh heard it from two groups ahead. He glanced back for the first time all week, that easy smile suddenly gone tight around the edges. Somewhere behind him, a kid who had started near the very bottom was now breathing down his lead. And a lead you stop respecting is a lead you have already started to lose. Then came the shot that decides these things. A par 3, the pin tucked cruelly behind water, the wind swirling. Ray held out the safe club aim for the fat of the green, lock in the best week of your life, go home a good story. Danny looked at it and slowly shook his head. He took dead aim at the flag. The cost was real. One bad swing and the whole climb drowns, the guaranteed finish gone. He chose the shot over the safety. Next shot, he said, not the deficit. The ball climbed into the gold light, hung for a heartbeat, and dropped 6 feet from the cup. Birdie, the gallery came apart. And up ahead, Marsh finally felt the thing he could not see coming. A grip that tightened. A tug left into the deep rough. A bogey, then another, the flawless week suddenly cracking under a pressure he had never once rehearsed because he had spent all 4 days certain that nobody was coming. The lead did not collapse. It was quietly, methodically taken from him. By the 17th, the names had fully traded places. The kid nobody could even find in the press tent 2 days earlier now sat alone at the very top of the board. Danny did not check it once. He did not have to. Ray's entire life had been about making sure he would never need to. One fairway, one green, one putt at a time. He had climbed clean over every single player between himself and the sky. And still, that same flat, quiet, unreadable face. The 18th. This is exactly where hands shake, where the mind, so close to the thing it has always wanted, floods with everything it could still lose, the wind, the moment, the story of an entire lifetime. Danny stood over the drive that could seal it or sink it. Ray watched his forearms like a hawk, no tremor. The kid exhaled, slow and even, the same breath from the dawn range, and swung, pure, straight down the middle. One more shot, just the one in front of him. He walked onto that final green with a lead he could still lose in one careless stroke, and read the putt like it was any ordinary Tuesday. If you have ever felt that, grinding while the whole world had already counted you out, then you already belong here. Subscribe. This is the tribe that finishes what a bad start tried to end. He set the blade of the putter down behind the ball, that same flat expression unchanged, and slowly drew it back. The putt tracked across the green, caught the low sun on its way, and dropped. Dead center. He had done it, the largest weekend climb that championship had ever seen, from outside the top 50 all the way to champion outright, no playoff. And here is the part that everyone missed. He tapped in that winning putt wearing the exact same face he had worn 2 days earlier at the very bottom of the pack. Ray did not cheer. He just closed his eyes and nodded once. So here is what Ray knew that the entire field somehow forgot. A bad start does not get a vote on your finish, only your response to it does. You will begin days, seasons, whole years buried near the bottom of some board. That is not the verdict. That is just the weather on the first hole. The people who actually climb are not the ones who panic about the deficit. They are the ones who quietly, stubbornly, relentlessly play the next shot. Picture him one last time, that quiet kid, tilting his cap up at the giant board where his name had climbed from the very bottom all the way to the very top. The scoreboard only tells you where you started, never where you finish. So the next time yours reads ugly at dawn, remember his flat, unbothered face. The scoreboard never gets a vote. If you are grinding through something nobody sees, this one was for you. I'm Cole. Subscribe, a new story like this every evening.